So, folks, we must be living in the Twilight Zone because it's official. Bob Iger has stepped down from Disney. So, like everyone here, I was caught off guard by the news. I had no clue that anything was going on with Bob Iger, but this has hit all the trades. It's hit all the big news outlets. It's not a rumor. It's not speculation. It's official. CNBC, CNN, all sorts of places are covering it. No, the High Council is not early today. The High Council is still going to be big tonight. We have Ethan. We have Drunk 3PO. I put feelers out to a lot of people. So this is just a breaking news broadcast in the middle of your day. Well, it's dinner time for a lot of people, but it's 2:18 here. So hail to everybody. Thank you, Albertosaurus. Yes, Cecil will be joining us tonight on the High Council. It's going to be a lot of fun. But, let's talk about the pressing issue right now, Bob Iger. So Bob Iger has been the CEO of Disney since, let's look that up. I should have known that. But he's the man that's been talking about Star Wars a lot as of late. He's been talking about how it's not over. We're going to take breaks. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. There's just so many different things right now about with Bob Iger in regards to his tenure at Disney. Will he be regarded as the man who made Disney Plus a hit and all these things? Who knows? We're going to have to find out about his legacy. But he began, he was the COO of Disney in 2000. And he was one of the people that he was in charge when they bought, I can't speak. He was in charge when they bought when they bought Marvel and Lucasfilm. So it looks like Iger's been around since 2000 at Disney. He's been the CEO since 2005. So let's pull up the news for everyone. I don't want to look at you, Warren Buffett. And we'll talk. There we go. Well, I don't want to help that. So yeah, the most impromptu stream in history. There we go. So let's see. What's up, Girthy Guitarist? Like I said, folks, we'll be back tonight with the High Council proper. But yes, Bob Iger has spent a lot of money buying companies. He's spent a lot of, they acquired 20th Century Fox, which I don't know if that's going to be a good idea in the long run. It almost feels dumb, pointless. It was just used to get the back catalog for Star Wars and some of the Marvel stuff. So one day we can have a complete MCU, which, based on Kevin Feige's news about wanting to step down and quit in 2012, he who knows what the future of the MCU holds outside of his diversity push. So here we have it. Bob Iger has stepped down as CEO of the Walt Disney Company effective immediately. Bob Chapek is the new CEO. The board of directors announced on Tuesday. He most recently served as chairman of Disney Parks, Experiences, and Products. So right there, you could be concerned because remember, it's the Disney parks that were being what was it? There was allegations that the Disney parks, they were cooking the books for certain things. And I think that lady even had a lawsuit against them, and Disney responded. So, I mean, if this is the guy that's in charge of that, what's going to happen with Disney? I don't know. What are they going to buy next? Who are they going to buy next? That's the biggest concern. So Iger has assumed the role as executive chairman and will direct the company's creative endeavors. The company said Iger will stay on at Disney through the end of this contract, December 31st of 2021. So sadly, we don't have a Bob Iger free Disney, but what we do have is a new CEO, and Bob Chapek. Yes, it looks like people are excited about this. After the whole debacle of the new Star Wars High Republic, we have this. So it's going to be a really hot night tonight. But I'll tell EVS he owes you an 8-ball, okay? I'll tell you that. The Star Wars dad says that Bob Iger stepped down because he was voted out. The board held a no confidence vote and it was ratified 12-1. Instead, he stepped down. All right. I have not heard that. So we'll have to get some more information about that. Cracklin, thank you for your super chat. He says, it's not even Christmas. Thank you for the great news. Well, thank you for joining us. It's going to be a fun day. I've been trying to do videos behind the scenes. I'm like, wait, this news broke? Now this news broke? Fuck. So it's just one of those days where I'm just struggling to keep up, but that's a good thing because, I'm happy. What's up, Keith? I see you in the chat. Our friend Nightwish Fan 1991 says, you think the next Bob is a permanent CEO or just a temporary one until they find someone else? Maybe he stays until Bob Iger leaves. Maybe it's more of a corporate puppetry type of thing. Let me look up this Bob Chapek guy. He might have an illustrious career that none of us have known about outside of his his time at Disney parks. So he does not have a Wikipedia page, but he has a page on the Disney company. So let's look at Bob Iger's replacement, per se. Here we go. So Bob Chapek, Chief Executive Officer, the Walt Disney Company. I do love how on the Disney Company website, it's about investor relations, careers, environment, philanthropy, and then news. Well, I wish there was just a tab for quality because they'd be lacking there. So let's see. Bob Chapek is the Chief Executive Officer of the Walt Disney Company, the world's largest media entertainment, home to most respected and beloved brands around the world, including Disney, Pixar, you bought it, Marvel, you bought it, Star Wars, you bought it, ESPN, you bought it, National Geographic, you bought it. So Disney's just the rich kid that nobody likes on the playground. It's, oh, my dad bought me this and my dad bought me that and I can do this. And he's just a smug little prick that nobody likes. So that is what Disney is. Now, as of today, Bob Chapek has assumed the role of CEO. He's been at Disney for 3 decades. So from a business standpoint, I guess you would go, oh yeah, Disney's been great over the last 3 decades. I think the entertainment landscape has suffered massively over the last 3 decades. And I've said it before on the show, and I'll say it again. The quality of entertainment was much better in the 80s when you had Disney struggling to keep up. You had a lot more variety. You had more diversity. You had a lot more fun. That's the decade. You got films like Indiana Jones, Back to the Future, Terminator, Rambo, Die Hard, Lethal Weapon, and the list goes on and on. But the point is, you had much more creativity. Everything is now buy this property, make 27 spinoffs, drag it out. And I guess we have Bob Iger to thank for that. So Bob Iger may have been the man solely responsible for the decline of, entertainment. Shout out to Obi-Wan 27883. He actually alerted me when I was eating lunch about this information. So let's give him a shout out for helping us out. Friend Servant of God says, called it. Someone is getting outed. You got to wonder how much of this is in regard to the Star Wars situation, how they handled that. I mean, you took the finale of the Skywalker saga, which was supposed to be this huge, massive endgame level event film-wise. We're talking 42 years at that point, from 77 to 2019, and it went out with a whimper. Each one made successively less. So that takes some really great management skills, and Bob Iger was at the top of that. I don't know how he let Kathleen Kennedy and their crew get away with what they got away with, but that's the pop culture landscape we live in. So thanks, Bob. You're the reason why all this shit has happened. Yeah, I get it. Kathleen, yes, this is real. This is real. This is not some rumor. This is not speculation. Google Bob Iger and you will get CNN, NBC, every major news source. I shouldn't say reputable because, whatever, but you get that. David Mendez, thank you very much. He says he paid for the price for his lack of vision. Well, yes, he did. He definitely paid the price. Well, I don't know if he paid the price. Bob Iger's what? Multi-millionaire. I don't know how much money he has. I don't know anything like that, but he's going to be fine. He's going to be moving over. Like, nobody fails in Hollywood. They just fail upward. So Bob Iger is just going to go get a different job, a better job per se, or a creative job. And that's just the kind of guy he is, a creative guy, just like Kathleen Kennedy is a creative woman. That is why we have the Star Wars High Republic experiment coming soon to a galaxy near you. I don't care. Redbird 350 says Kathleen Kennedy is going to be the CEO of Disney. Oh my God, I just had a horrible nightmare. Well, Redbird, thankfully, we know that's not the case because Bob Iger's replacement has been announced. I think if they hadn't announced a replacement, tons of people would be like, oh my God, it's going to be Kathleen Kennedy. That would be the 2015 where Biff is corrupt and powerful and married to your mother future, where nobody can enjoy the world we live in. That's the worst 1985 possible. So, yeah. Apocrypha, it is interesting how they don't care about their legacy, but we're going to remember them. And I think Bob Iger's legacy on Disney is going to turn a lot of people off. Like, you're only as good as your last hurrah. And what was Bob Iger's last hurrah? The Rise of Skywalker was the last big Disney film, came out after Frozen. They haven't really put anything out this year yet. So we're going to remember him from that, especially in this community, because we're a very Star Wars centric, oh, that's our favorite thing, oh, you ruined it type of situation. So it's going to be a problem for him. But why does he care? He thinks he's better than us. Remember when there was that rumor that he was going to run for president? Well, if he would have stepped down last year, people would have been thinking about that, but it's a little too late for 2020. Yeah, everyone's pissed. No one will forgive you what you did to Star Wars. Well, no one's going to forgive him. That's the thing. And yeah, for all the people that are questioning it, just Google it. This is the Disney website right here. This is right here. February 25th, 2020, Bob Chapek assumed the role of CEO. So that is 100% confirmed. Let's see. Now, according to CNN Business, Iger said that he has the utmost confidence that Chapek, and he looks forward to working closely with him over the next 22 months as he assumes his new role. He's incredibly honored and humbled to assume the role of CEO, says Chapek, of what I truly believe is the greatest company in the world. None of us agree here on this stream. Bob Iger has built Disney into the most admired and successful media entertainment company, and I've been lucky to enjoy a front row seat as a member of his leadership team. So I think we've all had a front row seat to watch the decline of our favorite franchises. Is Disney going to go more woke? I don't know if that's even possible to go more woke. Is it? You tell me in the chat right now, because I don't think so. Uncultured Barbarian says, maybe Bob stepped down before the SEC audit. I have no clue. None of us in the fandom menace have like those kind of Disney connections, contrary to popular belief. Nobody's getting phone calls. Like, I live the closest to Disney. I could get there in 15 minutes, but it's closer than 15 minutes. Oh. You're more than 15 minutes. We go to on the way to Flappers every day. I'm not talking Disney parks. I'm talking actual Disney building where they all work. Yeah, it's very close. But yeah, none of us have we're not getting phone calls from the inside. So yeah, I'm reading the chat right now. People are saying he destroyed the parks. He sucks. I haven't been to a Disney park since 1996, so not going to change anytime soon. Matej Soka says hi, Jesse. She waves back. Yeah, Obi-Wan, I'm worried about a hold my beer moment too in regards to all this stuff. Like I said, there's a lot of speculation. People are going on, does Kathleen Kennedy have dirt on Bob Iger? Does this person have this? It makes for great, fun speculation, but as of now, all we know is that Bob Iger is no longer the CEO of Disney. That's the officially the thing. And people are saying it wouldn't protect him from an SEC audit. All right, so is it Disney Corp in Ohio? No. Track Media Only says, don't taunt it. It can only get more woke. I feel like we should taunt it to see how bad it could get, because it'll eventually collapse. Folks, remember, when you go woke, you go broke. And people say, oh, that's just a catchy phrase that you people use. Is it, though? Because what happened with Birds of Prey? What happened with all these things? That's all I'm saying. It never works. Dan Didio fired Disney, hold my beer. It's been a really interesting week for the corporate structure of entertainment companies, the companies that hold all the IPs we hold near and dear to our heart. It's not one of those, oh, this person left and that's it for the landscape. For as dry, Tom, I see you in the chat right now. Bless you. For as dry as last week's entertainment news was, this week is, you can't get enough information out there. I could not leave this computer for 3 days and still not get enough stuff. So, let's see. Mikey Gussler sent in a super chat. Sorry, let me go back and read it for you, my friend. Shout out to Cesario Japan. Where'd you go? Where was it? Give me a second, then I will go back and find it before you go. Change is coming to entertainment. Let's hope it's good change, though. There is such a thing as bad change. We might not. I think DC's in for bad change. I don't really know what anyone else's stance on the DC stuff was, but for me at least, DC was putting out books that I could stomach. The stuff at Marvel is really hard to digest. It's almost embarrassingly bad. Like I was saying on the High Council last week, oh, hey, I talked about the new Spider-Man issue I read, and it was a lot of people on cell phones and stuff. So there we go. So let's see. Mikey Gussler. So first off, Sith Lord Felix says, is Kathleen Kennedy nervous now? Should she be? I don't think anything's going to happen to her. I would like it. Of course, we'd all rejoice. We'd party in the streets if she got the axe, the old heave-ho. But that's not the case. They're going to do everything because it's all about looking good publicly. I make the analogy. It's like in Spider-Man 3 when Mary Jane goes and finds out that she's been fired from the play. And the director goes, we can tell everyone you became ill. I feel like that's how Hollywood, and especially in the corporate structure, works. They'll come up with some excuse. Oh, you weren't fired. You stepped down and moved to this position. Oh, you aren't in trouble. You just moved here. And I believe that would be the case with Kathleen Kennedy. She wouldn't be fired. She would just be moved to a different division, kind of like Lucius Fox in Batman Begins, except she's not going to team up with a young billionaire and save the world. She's just going to sit in a room and fart. I don't know. Mikey Gussler says, what's this new guy's track record, good or bad? Well, as I stated earlier, he's been around Disney for quite a while. Of course, the Disney page is going to give him this beautiful write-up. He's the new CEO of the company. But let's see, he served as the president of distribution for the Walt Disney Studios, where he managed the company's film content distribution strategy across multiple platforms. And he was later the president of Walt Disney Studios Home Entertainment, where he organized the record-setting performances and played a key role in the commercialization of the studio's film business. I guess they weren't commercial before. I mean, all I remember as a kid is, the vault is closing, the vault is opening, get this movie before it goes away forever. It's like, what is this? So I guess he's involved for that. But here we go right here. During his tenure at Disney Park, he saw the largest investment and expansion in 60-year history, and it goes to include Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. So we know that Star Wars Galaxy's Edge has been disaster after disaster after disaster, and it's never been... in the beginning, it worked, I guess, and then the numbers didn't add up to what they wanted it to be. We've talked about this. We've talked about that. The rides don't work. If this is the guy's legacy, I guess we're all screwed because we're just going to have a broken Disney. So we don't necessarily have a track record outside of that and his other things. I mean, your opinion on his successfulness with the home video, that's subjective matter. You can say, well, I think it's successful because it introduced this, or I think it's a failure because it keeps people away from that. These people just look at the bottom line and the dollar figures, so we don't, at this moment, at least I don't know exactly what he has brought in. But maybe he will pull back on spending because you can only spend so much as a business. We looked at Star Wars on the High Council. We'll look at it again tonight because Tom from Midnight's Edge will be here. We always talk about how they spent $4 billion on Star Wars. The box office made this much, but we have to take into account all the other things. And it's all about the profit, not necessarily the gross of what these things made. So you look at Joker. Joker's a more successful film than financially than The Rise of Skywalker. Yet made more at the box office, and it cost significantly less. Cesaro Japan says Mickey is finally fed up with losing his money. I guess so. That would be the case of any business. You don't want to lose money; you want to make it. But there's that old saying: you got to spend money to make money. And maybe the company's just tired of them spending money, because didn't Comcast try to outbid Disney in the Fox merger? And it's rumored that they just bid it up to screw with Disney. And maybe that's the case. Maybe they spent too much on 20th Century Fox. I'm trying to think, was that maybe the best bet? Like I said, outside of video library and streaming service stuff, I can't think of what else they're going to benefit from that. I don't know. I'm not an insider. Uncultured Barbarian, I read yours. Track Media only says, don't talk to... can only get more woke. I read that one. House Bellator says, petition to bring back Legends. Also cancel the cease and desist of KOTOR remake. I did hear about that. I do think it's kind of stupid that they went that route, but they're going to do what they're going to do. Legends, sadly, will never come back as canon. I mean, especially with this new bullshit the High Republic, which that's the main feature tonight, as well as Bob Iger is going to be about on the High Council. It's going to be a great show. And like I said, we have Cecil, Ethan, Drunk 3PO, Mecha Random, and Tom from Midnight's Edge. So that's a stacked crew. I don't think we have anybody else, even if they wanted to join us. Bob Iger himself could try to join and be like, sorry, man, we got a full crew tonight. Dr. Ian Malcolm says, hopefully the new guy does a good job. I think that's what we all want. I think we all want, at least in this community, we want good Star Wars and we want good Marvel. I haven't seen Toy Story 4, so I can't comment on if it's still good. I don't really watch those kids' movies they make. I have no interest in that new one with the half pants dad that they're going on a spell hunt or what. I don't know. I've seen the trailer like 3 times. I have no interest in it. But yeah, I just don't like how much power they hold in the media and what they do to a lot of the smaller studios. So let's see. Neubau Farzoig says, Bob Iger is gone? Don't give me hope. That's not me giving you hope. That is the truth. That is a straight up fact. That's not opinion. That's nothing else besides the news. And shout out, we have over 1,500 people watching. Give us a thumbs up. Give us a thumbs up if you're happy that Bob Iger is gone. You know what? Press 1 in the chat if you're happy that Bob Iger has stepped down too. Has he ruined your favorite property? Probably, or at least he's been responsible for hiring the people that have ruined your favorite property. Thank you, Dr. Meatball. I'm glad you like my description of the film for whatever that Disney film is. And God, there are a lot of ones. I'm seeing tank treads of ones. Shout out to Echo Base Network as well. Glad to see you here too. Yeah, okay. Everyone seems to be happy about this news, except Ladies Man 727. Sorry, he's unhappy. But yes. So Bob leaves, Bob comes in. Too bad it can't be like the Bobs, Bob Zemeckis and Bob Gale, the 2 guys responsible for Back to the Future. That's a time for another. That's just topic for another time. We'll talk about that. This Thursday on the podcast, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. But I'm seeing somebody mention Indiana Jones. I'm curious to see how Indiana Jones goes because I've been paying attention. What was I gonna say? I've been paying attention to what Harrison Ford's been saying in the news about subverting your expectations with Indiana Jones, and I'm just like, oh God, the one Disney-owned Indiana Jones film is going to somehow be worse than the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. I mean, it took an episode of South Park where they had to abuse him on a pinball machine to help me get over the stress of that movie, and now this is going to happen. I can't help it. I can't have it. Ugh. Let's see. A lot of people are talking about how Bob Chapek has been cutting corners. What about Bob? That's a great movie. Let's see. Him and Kennedy should have both been gone. Iger wants to run for president in 2020 election. Now, he's not running this year. I don't really know if the candidates are locked up, but I think it's a little too late. Redbird 350 says, if Disney goes, Marvel is going to be in a bigger mess. Yeah, that's the case. Marvel's in a weird place yesterday. In the video I put out today, actually, I don't really know about like the future of that brand. It feels like, I think it was it Nick that talked about how last year was the year where so many blockbusters were going to come out that Hollywood would implode. That wasn't the case, but there was a lot of failures. I think it was a disappointing year at the box office overall, outside of Avengers. But there are these companies that they would call too big to fail, and then they fail. And I don't know if that's going to be the case with Disney, but with Marvel, it's like, what do we have to look forward to as fans? This social engineering project of like Miss Marvel being a household name, which she's not. And I'm talking Kamala Khan, not Carol Danvers. I don't know if anyone follows gaming, but last year at E3, they showed this Avengers trailer, and it's ugly. I mean, the game graphically looks cool, but the designs are shit. And so everyone's like, oh, the Avengers game. It's Captain America, Thor, Iron Man, Hulk, Black Widow, maybe Hawkeye. I don't remember exactly. I just know I didn't like the trailer. We did a video on it last year. And that was it. And then you come to find out, after all the hype bills, it's an old bait and switch that they want you to play as Miss Marvel, Kamala Khan. She's like the main character now. So there's this push for Disney to I'll just go with Marvel, to get them to take these other characters and put them at the forefront, but sneak in. Oh, this is our POV character, our Kitty Pryde, our Jubilee, or whatever. Unlike those cases where Kitty Pryde could be your intro into the X-Men, like in the Pride of the X-Men or Jubilee in the cartoon proper, after a minute, it goes away and it's, the Wolverine show. With this, they're making this core focus her, and I think it's kind of shitty when you're selling a game for months on the real Avengers, and then you get to this, and it's this version. I foresee a lot of that with Marvel, and a lot of that with geek culture. If let's say they were to buy Disney were to buy DC Comics, that would be a nightmare scenario for any comic book fan, because they're going to strip down the line first off and only sell the proven seller books. So no Plastic Man. Sorry. I don't even know if they print Plastic Man anymore. My point is, though, if one company owns that and becomes the monopoly, and for some reason Disney can get away with becoming a monopoly somehow, but if they do that, comic books are done. I may not agree with everything Warner Brothers puts out, but at least with them putting out, owning everything in the IP, you can get these DC movies with any character. Nothing's off limits. Marvel has suffered that. So, but that's your actual point, though. Yeah, I don't foresee a super bright Marvel future. Black Widow looks fine. I will go see it. I don't know what it's going to have infused politic-wise, but that'll be the case. We'll find out in a couple months. Dan Rage 47, thank you very much. Activate Order D66, and hundreds of leftist SJWs and communist mutants are suddenly out of a job as a car drives by super fucking loud. Wow, it's a race out there. Anyway, sorry, Dan. Activate Order D66, and hundreds of leftist SJWs and communist mutants are suddenly out of jobs as Disney begins to clean out of political extremists. One can dream, right? I'm dreaming, I'm hoping, but I think it's going to be, what's the saying? The blind leads the blind. Like, nothing's actually going to get better. They'll tell us, they'll do these things. They'll put these posts out to help boost stock prices. They'll build the excitement and the hype for all of these things. They'll cut expenses to make the profits look bigger. I mean, that's how it works. But point is, like, it's like in the WWE. They want to always tout, we have record-breaking profits year over year over year. But less people are coming to the show, less people are watching the show, so they just cut out the costs to make up for it. And yes, that makes sense from a business standpoint, but it's like, you cut out my pyro, you cut out all these things to make your sales figures look better. That's about, you're not really doing better. You're just, living less. Anthony Franklin says he will get a massive payoff. Oh, no doubt the dude's walking out happy, rich, smiling. He's not going to suffer one day. He was the CEO of Disney for many years, 15 years now. So, but yeah. Let's see. Hey, shout out to the Deplorable Batcave. I haven't been on your show in years. That was a lot of fun, man. I will talk more about the High Republic tonight because I have to go back and do more. I was doing research for a video, but I will cover, I will cover all of those things. I don't think Bob Iger will run for president. I wouldn't care. I wouldn't vote for him, so he wouldn't be my candidate. Alec, I didn't know that about Roy Disney. I don't really like the Disney company. I know a lot of our listeners are more invested in Disney as a company. They just bought up all the shit I like and they ruined it. So all the shit they bought, I'm well versed in, and I don't like that. I ruined it. But he says, this is a lesson, how you never give away enough equity in your company to lose control. Roy Disney sold it all away for a quick buck and lost control of the company. Here we are. Yeah, I mean, on paper, they would say, but look at all these record sales. But, if you don't have a future plan, like Disney Plus, I get it for free and I've lost a lot of interest in it. So I don't know where we're going to be with Disney Plus in a couple years. Like the Clone Wars is on. Again, I'll talk about that tonight. But there's not enough to, like Netflix. I don't even watch Netflix all the time, but I still keep paying for it because I might go back and watch other things because it's not Disney. It's not branded. It's everything. You know, you can get this movie from this company or these TV shows. If it was solely Netflix original content, I would have canceled that shit years ago. Because yes, their documentaries are fun, but I watch a documentary once, maybe twice, so I'm showing it to someone else. But The Twilight Zone, I can watch that shit forever. Red Firebird 350 says, if Star Wars goes, well, hold on, this is really delayed. Sorry, Google is in the update process. So he says, if Star Wars goes, Marvel is going to be a mess, says Red Firebird 350. So, Servant of God 777 says, Jeff, I sent you something on Twitter. Check your DMs. I will check this out. I got to make sure I do a little more research on this before I would do, make anything for the channel. But this is interesting. I'm taking a screenshot so I don't miss out on this. It'd be interesting to see if that could cause Disney to fall, or a controversy to open up. It'd be interesting. It'll be a fun watch. So I'll watch that tomorrow. Lokio7 says, I wish he was leaving Jeffrey Epstein style. A little cold, but I get your point. Now, did you guys see the Hillary Clinton, Jeffrey Epstein Mardi Gras float? You can Google it. It's kind of dark, but kind of funny. But, Red Firebird, real quick. Yes, I think Marvel is going to be a dumpster fire. WandaVision looks fine in theory. Doctor Strange, if Sam Raimi is 100% on board, that's going to be fun. It's not really fair to say that, well, Marvel's, disappointed me 10 times in a row. They haven't, just really once. And if I'm going to be like super critical, I'll say twice, because Endgame did disappoint me. Thinking about it, I have no desire to ever watch the film again. And many of the Marvel films, like I tried to sit down and watch Winter Soldier the other day, and I just don't care. That's how much I didn't like that movie. But Captain Marvel's the only one I absolutely hate as a film that I think is not well made. Has issues outside of Brie Larson's politics. Like when we reviewed the movie last year on the channel, we didn't rate it based on Brie Larson's shittiness. It was like, what do I think of this as a film? And we gave it a 5 out of 10. So, but no, I do think Marvel doesn't have too much of a bright future. It's a lot of the boy brands that I think Disney has issues with. Like if they would have just if they wouldn't have had these world domination plans, and they would have stuck with, well, we have our Disney princesses and Mickey Mouse and this and that and Toy Story and all these fun, like to me, Disney was like perfect for birth till about 5 years old. And then you start playing video games, you get into Power Rangers or other good shit, Star Wars, Marvel. You just find a kid brand that's a little more edgy. Like people say, well, Star Wars isn't edgy. Yeah, it is. It has amputations, decapitations, murder, genocide. Star Wars has all that shit, and people love to say it's for kids. It's for everybody. But my point is, Disney is best for preschool kids. Disney Junior, Mickey Mouse Clubhouse, and all that dumb crap. I really wish Disney would have not tried to do this world domination plan where they're just going to buy everything to appeal to every age group from, 1 to 99 or some shit like that, like those toys. Let's see. Dr. Ian Malcolm says, unlike KK, Colin Trevorrow had a plan for the Jurassic World films. Well, see, Dr. Ian Malcolm, I've never seen a Jurassic World film. I've only seen Jurassic Parks 1 and 2, and even then, I didn't see Jurassic Park until the 20th anniversary in 2003. So, or 2013, excuse me. So I'm not the most well-versed on Jurassic Park, but I think it's fine from what I saw. And then I saw The Lost World when it was new on tape. But Trevorrow sounded like he had a decent plan for Star Wars until that thing... they shit the bed and he left. I don't even know what the official, okay, there's a difference between an official story and an actual story. I know Tom from Midnight's Edge, they'll have a lot of stuff. They have insiders and stuff, and they can even tell you, there's a difference between, what's an official story or what's the real story. People are going to bullshit you publicly. So I would like to know that. Dr. Ian Malcolm also says, make good movies for the fans and listen to their feedback. I feel like Sonic the Hedgehog did that because for the second weekend in a row, it's number 1. It made an additional, $25 million, so like $80 million domestically already. And then we have all kinds of hype. People are like, what about a sequel? What about this? I don't know. Haven't seen it. Can't really comment. But, I did see that actor, the voice actor of Sonic, tell everyone, thank you for coming to see our movie and supporting it. I don't see a lot of Disney actors going, "Hey, thanks to the fans for making us what we are." I see Mark Ruffalo making up political bullshit about how Kevin Feige's going to quit his job. So it just depends on this fan first approach. I think the only place you can go to Disney or with Disney and have your ass kissed is Disney World. And you don't really want to go to Disney World or Disneyland and treat those poor people like crap because they're just, your average everyday workers doing their job. I don't think it's fair to be like, I hate Disney. I'm going to go to Disney World and take it out on these people. All you're going to do is be an asshole. It's not going to help. Mark Quad says, this was sudden. I think he was basically fired. One of our listeners said there was a 12-1 vote of no confidence. I'm just going by what they're publicly putting out here. I'll do more research. We'll make more videos and we'll do stuff like this. But I don't know. He could have been. But as officially, he has just stepped down. It'll be fun to hear Ethan's take tonight. Dr. Ian Malcolm says, Colin has fans involved in the making of these movies and has more fans than ever involved in the last one. I didn't know that. I almost want to watch Jurassic World now just to be like, hey, this dude might know his shit. Would you watch all the Jurassic Park movies with me? All right. Dr. Ian Malcolm, I'll try to get that in the next couple of weeks. We'll try to watch all of them. Is there another one coming out soon? Okay. I mean, I'm cool with the first one, and it has a great soundtrack. So, for as dumb of a reason as that is, I'll watch it. Justin Panlasigui, did I get that right? Yes, I think I did. When's your next visit to San Diego? I do not know. I will let fans know when we're going to be doing like little meetups here and there. The last one we had was with our friend Sir Ruin of House Roundhead in Maryland back in January. So in San Diego, I will let people know. For sure, we're going to do we have our big fan meetup in August around Star Wars Celebration. You don't have to give Disney $1. Just come hang out with everybody out here. We'll start making announcements and stuff like that soon to give everyone ample time. It's like 6 months, less than 6 months from now, but it is happening no matter what. Dr. Ian Malcolm says Jurassic World Dominion. I guess it's the next one because the first two are not. Was it Fallen Kingdom? And then there's just. Okay. Okay. Bjorn says, is Flappers like Hooters but with seniors? Maybe. No, Flappers is a really great comedy club, and Jesse works an open mic. It's a lot of fun. So, if you're ever you're not even in the country, but if you're in the area, go check out Flappers. They got a lot of big names. Dr. Ian Malcolm also says, if Colin Trevorrow was involved in Star Wars, he would do the same. Well, do you think if he was involved with Star Wars, Disney would allow that though? My thing is like, with all of this like fan-centric stuff that we're clamoring for, and realistically Sonic is like the first one to do it, because I don't think Marvel fans are like angry at the MCU because Marvel really hasn't done anything too antagonistic yet. I think it was an interesting point that was probably made on the Midnight's Edge video about how Birds of Prey was a product of an era, 2016, where it was cool and edgy and fun and hip to like make anti-fan stuff. I think they actually said like it was in the wake of like Ghostbusters where the anti-man sentiment was acceptable in Hollywood, and then after these movies failed, studios really backtracked quickly and they don't allow these sort of things. So it'll be interesting to see if it would have been interesting to see how movies that are produced now in 2020 that come out in the next couple of years, if they'll have this fan focused approach, if it all works. I mean, that's all I can say. Shout out to Isaiah. That is the best comment tonight, dude, or today. Spider-Man reference for the win. Alex Powers 2.0 says, hi, Jeff. How are you? It's been a while. It has been a while. I've been okay. Lost a family member, been dealing with some stuff, moved, but overall pretty happy. Just trying to keep the channel rolling and get some stuff moving. And how are you? Yeah. By the way, folks, we'll be at Horror Hound Cincinnati next month in March 20th through the 22nd. So if you guys want to come out and meet us, we'll be at the Sharonville Convention Center. So let's see. Yeah, I didn't see it coming either. I don't think a lot of people saw it coming, folks. This was a big news story that just caught us off guard. We wanted to go live and talk about this. I'm going to keep this brief because we'll be live in just a few short hours for the High Council, and I got to get prepared to do some other stuff. So the Iger era has ended. Yes, Emilio, you are 100% right. It has ended, and that's it. That is all she wrote for Bob Iger. So, folks, you can decide how you feel about Bob Iger's legacy at Disney. I think the Marvel acquisition was cool to a degree that it brought a lot of Marvel, but the MCU got a lot of stuff streamlined. But I also think it's terrible because Marvel Comics, the publishing arm, has been shit. But to be in the interest of fairness, it really didn't turn bad until the last few years, and Disney had the reins for a couple years at that point. So, I mean, 2009 is when they bought Marvel. We had good storylines come out of Marvel up until about 2013, maybe 2014, and then I've just lost interest because they went a certain direction. So I don't know where the future of the comic book industry is. It's going to be in the hands of the fans and the creators. You know, everyone thinks, well, you know, if you make your own comic book, maybe somebody will read it one day. That's true. Maybe you should have a little more faith in your creative friends because they could be working on the next Walking Dead. And as we know, The Walking Dead was a massive multi-million-dollar huge extravaganza. The TV show's still rocking. The book just ended. Merchandise out the ass. If somebody said to me, Jeff, you could have your comic book become like one other franchise, what would it be? Probably going to pick Walking Dead or maybe Spawn, because Spawn had a hell of a run, still does well, and I have nothing but respect for Todd McFarlane. So, folks, I think this is the perfect short stream. I just wanted to get this news out there. It's been nice to want to solo one of these. It almost feels like a good morning pop culture, but in the afternoon. So good afternoon, pop culture. We've been live. Folks, we'll be back in just 3 hours for the High Council. We have Ethan, we have Cecil, we have Mecca, we have Drunk 3PO, we have myself, and we have Tom for Midnight's Edge After Dark. So I'd like to thank each and every one of you for joining. Make sure you guys hit the thumbs up on the way out, and make sure you're still subscribed to the channel for all the latest news and updates, because YouTube keeps changing their system, and people are like, I didn't even know you still made videos. I haven't stopped at all. So, folks, we'll see you guys in just a few short hours. Cesario, Japan. Everyone go give some love to Mecha Random. We'll be back on the High Council. And then tonight on Mindless Entertainment, what are we doing? We got a big stream over on Mindless Entertainment. It's going to be a lot of fun. Last week, you guys missed it. I was drawing. People would send in a super chat. It was the Truth or Dare was the other week, right? Yeah. Okay, so we did Truth or Dare one week. That was a lot of fun. But last week, it was you sent in a super chat. We drew it. We had to draw Cecil. We had to draw Jeremy and Kathleen Kennedy. I had to be drawn and drag. It was interesting, and but it was fun nonetheless. So if you want to see stuff like that, after the High Council, there's another show that I'm always a part of, and it's always a lot of fun. So, folks, thank you guys. I appreciate each and every one of you, and I have a request before we go, and you know what it is. Go out into the world and be excellent to each other.